So we are back again.
Yep.
I love this. If you've been joining us or are joining us right now, we have been talking about the genius of the end, that we live in a world that often puts things in categories. It's either this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about the genius of the end. And last, we were talking about this in the medical field. And so I wanted to kind of start by saying that one of the tensions I've felt in this journey with cancer is that there is a group of people that are very much oriented around holistic, natural, non-toxic treatments. And they look at very suspiciously at the modern medical, typical oncology, urology. And the same is true on the other side.
Yes.
They look at these guys, they're wackos, they're just out for your money. And I found myself, and this has been like experientially true, where I'm like, why should we make that an either or? Can we not say, hey, there's some stuff that's valuable over here, and there are some things that I need to take advantage of here? And I just don't understand why there's such animosity between those two circles, because I think the genius is in the end.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I can't even imagine the level that you're dealing with that or have dealt with that. But even for us, like, so we decided to do a birthing center, and that was like, you would have thought I asked to have my baby by myself in a field somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, and so you have a bunch of the traditional medical field is like, why would you do that? It's so dangerous, all this other stuff. And then, like you said, on the other side, they are so, and both are so quick to lead with like the numbers and the data and the stats, you know what I mean? And it was like, for me, they're like, they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you, and it was just like, and it's overwhelming, and it puts you in a place where it makes, again, this is a normal everyday decision or everyday thing that happens, right? Having a baby is very common, but then you feel this pressure and it just makes it just, it's just so, doesn't have to be that way. And so for us, it was like finding a place where they accepted both. And I'm so glad that we were actually able to find that. Like I said, I had a really difficult pregnancy, and so I had to go see some specialists and things like that. And so every time I would go, it's like almost like a pointing the finger, and it was difficult until the very end of being able to have a respect and, again, bring those things together. And I just never understood why it couldn't be both.
And I think one of the reasons why the appeal of the either or scenario is so compelling to people is because it's built on fear, right? So you don't want this to happen.
Yeah.
So therefore you should do this. Or you don't want that to happen, so you got to go here. And that fear really plays in. And in fact, I lead a group right now of fellow cancer warriors. And one of the things we're in week, I think, 13 right now. And one of the things we talk regularly about is how fear is at the core of so many of the decisions that people make. Like, it's not because of some positive thing that they hope will come out. It's that, well, I'm going to do this because I'm afraid that this other thing might happen if I don't.
Yeah.
So whether it's chemo, surgery, any number of things, like, well, the doctor says if I don't do this, while on the other hand, it's like, well, wait, I want to make decisions that are more like optimistic and positive. And I think that's why the genius of the end is so important, because you can say, I want to take advantage of all the things I know here and all the things that are available to me here. And that feels a lot more positive to me.
And it feels really trivial to think about it this way, but for me, it like allows a person to make like almost like informed consent on my decision. I have information from this, I have information from this, and this is what I'm choosing to do. And again, I just don't know why like that sounds so like, yeah, that makes sense. And I just don't know why it's not already framed. Why is it not framed that way? Why is it just like, I am, the leading expert in this and take what I say at face value, And so I know with my husband, Martin, when he was doing a cancer journey with his first wife, he was saying you always go get, multiple opinions, and you always have to go talk to different doctors and the holistic approach. And that's how you're going to get the best care, because just taking something at face value, that fear component's always going to be brought in for sure.